back to another episode of the book club. This week we're talking about all things butterflies. Specifically, we're talking about the metamorphosis of these butterflies. We're going to go into how they go from egg to caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly. So that's what we've been doing this week in these videos. But it's time for a story. So let's get started with our Welcome to Book Club song. Here we go. These are my glasses. This is my book. I put on my glasses and open up my book. And I read. And I look. I take off my glasses and close up my book. All right, everybody. I will see you back in my kitchen for an activity. Enjoy our story of the day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye Bye Butterflies by Andrew Larson. I like it when we're quiet, said Charlie's dad as the two of them walked down the street. Well, I like it better when we talk, insisted Charlie. But you can hear all kinds of things when you're quiet, said his dad. Like what? Asked Charlie. Listen, whispered his dad. So Charlie listened, and that's when he heard it. It sounded like a chorus of children's voices. Yes, the voices called out. Yes, bye-bye, butterflies. Charlie looked up at the building across the street. He didn't see anything. No children, no butterflies, nothing out of the ordinary. Then he saw something. It was on the rooftop of the school. He saw a single hand reach up and wave, and then another, and he saw a butterfly emerge above the waving hands, and then another butterfly, and another. They scattered. Bye-bye, butterflies. Then suddenly a little boy's head popped up. The boy looked down and waved to Charlie, and Charlie waved back. Bye-bye, butterflies, Charlie called up to the boy. Bye-bye, butterflies, the boy responded, still waving. And then, just like that, the boy was gone. Just like that, the butterflies were gone. And just like that, the sound of the children faded. Charlie stood alone with his dad. Maybe I could do something like that one day, said Charlie, hopefully. Maybe, said his dad, smiling. They continued walking silently. A few months later, Charlie started school. He forgot all about the butterflies. He was too busy doing somersaults in gym and learning to sit still during story time. Fall turned into winter, and winter turned into spring. And when Charlie's class returned from spring break, a package arrived for them, and it had a bright red sticker on it. Live contents! Open immediately, it said. Inside the package were tiny jars, and inside the jars was some goop. Inside the goop were tiny, teeny caterpillars. You are all butterfly scientists now, said Miss Kathy. Each of these tiny caterpillars will grow into a butterfly, and it is your job to help them grow and to watch for the changes that take place. What are we going to do with them when they grow into butterflies? Asked Sophie. We'll let them go free, answered Miss Kathy. Then Charlie remembered. Bye-bye, butterflies. Over time, the caterpillars ate the goop. They grew and grew until they were big and fuzzy. And then one by one, they crawled up the side of their jars. One by one, they fastened themselves to the top of the jars and dangled upside down. The caterpillars were ready to make their cocoons, Miss Kathy explained to the children. They'll stay inside their cocoons until they have changed into butterflies. And that's just what they did. The next morning, the children came to school and discovered that the jars were gone. In their place was a big glass terrarium. Our butterflies will need more room when they come out of their cocoons, Miss Kathy explained. Let's put some twigs and grass and flowers in the terrarium for them. It will make it nice and cozy. The cocoon seemed to hang around forever. The children could hardly wait. I know it doesn't seem like there's much going on, but it's important to keep observing, Miss Kathy reminded them. You never know what you might see. After a couple of weeks, the children finally saw something. The terrarium was aflutter with baby butterflies. Our new friends will be with us for a few days, said Miss Kathy. Then we will need to release them. A few days later, it was time. Today's the day, said Miss Kathy. They're ready to go free. You've all done a great job looking after our butterflies. The children felt a little happy and a little sad. I wish we could keep the butterflies forever, said Sophie. I know, said Charlie, but just wait and see. The children gathered on the rooftop with the teachers and the butterflies. Charlie could hardly keep still. Are you ready? Miss Kathy asked the children. Yes, they called out. Are you sure? She said. Yes, they called out even louder. Then let's get ready to say goodbye, she said. The children raised their hands and began to wave. Miss Kathy opened the lid of the terrarium, and the butterflies fluttered up and away. Bye-bye, butterflies, sang the children. Bye-bye. Charlie walked over to the safety rail at the edge of the rooftop. He held onto the rail and looked up at the scattering butterflies, and he looked down at the sidewalk below. A boy stood there beside his father. The boy looked up at Charlie and Charlie waved back. Bye-bye, butterflies, the boy called up. Bye-bye, butterflies, Charlie responded, still waving bye-bye. The end. All right, everybody, let's get our supplies ready for our project of the day. First, we're going to need some paint brushes, some water to move the paint around and make it thinner and looser, and some napkins. If you don't have napkins, you can use paper towel, tissues, or coffee filters. Tissue paper works too. And that should be it. Let's get started. Hi friends, I hope you enjoyed that story. Now we're going to get to our project, so go ahead, grab all those materials, and when you're ready, come on back, unpause the video, and we'll get started. Alright, so we're going to start with our napkin. Take your napkin, unfold it so it's in a big square. You can use paper towel, you can use coffee filters too. We pretty much want something that's going to be thin and absorbent like a tissue, because we are going to make butterflies out of these, and it's going to replicate their soft, delicate wings. So I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see what we're doing. So here is my open napkin. I put it on top of a piece of cardboard so that way when the paint seeps through the napkin, it doesn't ruin my table, because the paint will go through. You can see where I made my last one. So I put it on cardboard, and I'm going to take my water to make my paint not as thick. Dip my paintbrush in paint, put it in the water, and I'm just going to paint my napkin. You can dip it in more water to
brush the paint out. It'll help spread it. And you're just gonna cover the whole napkin. There we go. So we're going to make a pair of really colorful wings. If you've ever seen a butterfly, their wings are always so many different colors. Sometimes they're the same on both sides. That means symmetrical. So we'll talk about monarch butterflies next week, but monarch butterflies tend to have symmetrical wings. That means what you see on one side is the same on the other side. They're like mirror images or twins. But my butterfly that I'm making right now isn't going to be symmetrical. It's just going to be all over the place. It's going to be asymmetrical. So symmetrical is when they're the same on both sides. Asymmetrical is where each side is different. Okay, covering my whole butterfly. Doesn't matter what colors you use. My colors got a little muddy from the last project. Okay, perfect. So you're gonna notice that it sticks to the cardboard or whatever you chose to do this on top of, and it's going to be really delicate. You can see where I tried to lift it and it ripped. So you're gonna want it to dry on the cardboard. Do not try and pick it up until it's dry. Because it will rip and it will fall apart. So that's where it's going to start. See, it's so wet that it's sticking. You're just going to sit it in the sun and let it dry. It usually takes a little over an hour because it's so thin, it dries pretty quick. But when you're done, it's going to look like this. It peeled off pretty easily. So I have my big napkin, and you're going to take the middle and just pinch it together. Once you pinch it, my alarm went off. There we go. Once you pinch it together, they kind of look like butterfly wings. You can have your own flying butterfly. If you want to keep it intact so that it doesn't fall apart, you can tie a rubber band around it. You can use pipe cleaners and wind it around the middle. I have a paper clip, so I'm just going to open it and push it in. So that way it kind of looks like the center of a butterfly. And I can hold the paper clip, and now I can play with it. Now I have my own butterfly. Very nice. So send me pictures of your butterfly so I can see what they turned out to look like, and I'll see you next time on the book club.